gorgeous lights. Welcome to an energy update for the 23rd of July. Well, there has been so much going on. Spirit had said a couple of weeks ago that there was going to be this rapid fire series of events that would just be like illumination, illumination, illumination. And as usual, I always go, oh yeah, that'll be fine. And then when the series of events plays out, I'm always amazed and actually in awe to the depths that we have to actually go to actually get the understanding that we actually need if we're looking for it, and that's the key to it as well. So what we're working on at the moment, it's a refocus year, and certainly what we're looking at right at the moment is inner mastery, inner equilibrium, emotional balancing, and it's all to do with self. So if I put it this way and said that, you know, our soul experiences down here, that aspect experiences, because we're all part of the one. And so I kind of liken it to like a disco ball, and it's got all these little aspects of mirrors on, but it's the same thing, just with a different viewpoint, a different experience. Where basically, with our soul contract with ourselves, you are dealing with aspects that you came personally to learn within your little aspect of your little mirror that you are. Having said that, our degree of separation when we tell ourselves that we're in an individualised body says that we are completely separate from someone else. Well, you're not. You've got a separate degree of learning than the other person, but we can either mirror the darkness that we don't want to see about ourselves to someone else, or you can mirror the light that you see from someone else. You can also get really subtle learning and understanding in the formative way other people turn up around you. The whole goal of the earth plane really is about having experiential learning and experiential growth that's going to teach you about yourself as part of the collective working together in collective consciousness. Now, what we're working on, that's all going on, but what we're working on right at the moment is in this refocus energy, is to refocus on the parts of ourselves that we need to break free from limitations, habitual behaviours, things that just don't serve us anymore. And it could be people, it could be situations, it could be limiting beliefs. A lot of it is to do with limiting beliefs. It's to do with and that throws people. It's to do with the beliefs that you can actually have that just are deeply rooted in your body, in your psyche, and it's a little bit like you won't consciously realise them until they're directly confronting with you. So say you grew up and money was hard when you were growing up, and you had parents and you really wanted a pair of Reeboks or something really, really expensive, and your parents said, no, you can't have that, you've got to actually have this, and you need to accept what they actually gave you as well. Now that becomes mired in you, that you can't have what you want, and you'll have to settle for less than what you actually deserve. And that continues and goes all the way in your subconscious, lodged in your subconscious as a limiting belief that you will have to settle for less than what you actually really want. Now, we don't reinvestigate this at times, understanding what a big resistance or big obstacle that can be for what you actually do want to create in your life. And you can find that you just don't quite get what you would like, and it's not until you stop and you pause in this like refocus energy and go, actually, what's going on here? What am I being illuminated? Because it is an illumination from the universe. The universe is not picking on you. I don't know how many times I've said this over the last couple of weeks. The universe is not picking on you. The universe is illuminating what you need to heal in yourself, for yourself. So if you're not thinking that you're getting the love that you deserve, then you need to be the love for yourself that you wish that you had have received. And it's funny because when I talk to people about this, they like roll their eyes and go, oh God, is it me? Yes, it's you. It's always you, because it's your life, and it's not a punishment because of that. It is an understanding that the universe is trying to show you how deserving you are of gifting yourself, if you like, the love that you deserve, so then you can be at this frequency of loving yourself. So the universe sends in people that match you at that frequency. It's all about frequency. You're basically frequency condensed into matter, and you're literally meeting people along your pathway for whatever resonance that you are on the inside of you. So You know, if you keep popping up and getting distrustful people around you, it's because there's a part of you that doesn't trust that things will fall into alignment with you. The mirrors and the reflections are incredible, and most of the time we're missing them. We're missing all these wonderful illuminating signs because we're not actually registering in our active conscious what's going on and being led by the subconscious limiting programs that's going on. This energy at the moment is forcing you to refocus, and it's also, I actually said to someone the other day, look, it's like we're walking on a planet of 2-year-olds at the moment. So psychology wise, when you're about 2 years old, you have attachments to things. You have attachment to a blanket, you have attachment to a toy, you have attachment to something. So we're working on attachments at the moment. So it could be that you have an attachment to a person bolstering you up, listening to all your problems, very, very codependent behaviour, and getting validation from them or whatever, because you're not actually giving yourself validation, and the universe is going to get that person to let you down, or because that's a soul contract that you've got with them, for them to illuminate what you need to heal, because actually they're you, and they're you reflecting back whatever you need, and you're reflecting to them, and it's very, very win-win if you can taking it personally out of the equation, which is really, really hard for human beings to do, because we see ourselves as separate. Our society programs that you're separate, when in reality the collective consciousness is all in it together. Now, before someone comes at me and says that that person was really horrible to me, they were probably no more horrible than what you were to yourself. And at the end of the day, it takes a huge amount of grace to actually look at ourselves and go, actually, I do treat myself really, really awfully, because we can minimise ourselves, and that becomes a limiting belief. And then in that limiting belief, the universe responds to your lack of worth of yourself. It responds to your value of how you see yourself by seeing seeing people that match you at that value. So coming back to the 2-year-olds and attachments, you're getting pushed at the moment on all of your attachments. So if you'll get learning about your property if you're overly attached to it, because that doesn't help you to understand. You're learning about you. So in order for growth to come in, because that's what it's about, you're learning at a soul level, you're learning as a human being, you're learning acceptance. The universe will use these attachment avenues to bring you multi-level learning at the moment as well. So you detach from that making you happy, or thinking that it makes you happy, to give yourself permission just to be happy, not because of something else, not because of a person, a situation, not because of that. That doesn't make you happy. You decide consciously on the inside of you whether you're going to be happy or not. That's a choice. It's a free choice realm. So we're in all this massive, massive energy at the moment, where you can kind of feel a little bit bombarded. So if you're feeling a little bit bombarded and going, holy mackerel, out of left, right, centre, everything's kind of bombarding on me and I feel really picked on, take a time out. Take a time out. Reflect on not what's happening externally, but come back to what's happening internally, because internally is driving your own personal experience. So the universe illuminates from the outside of you, because you're not looking internally the way that you're treating yourself. When we don't look internally, we don't reflect, and we don't love ourselves, we see it externally around the outside of us, because that's the way that we're learning, because we're not taking the time to fully investigate ourselves. Why? We're not taught to fully investigate or have permission to actually be who you need to be. You probably would have grown up with a parent saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. We all did. The obstacle is overcoming that, to realise that the own importance in your own life path is how you view yourself, with love, with kindness, with compassion. You have to relearn, refocus energy, right? You have to refocus on you, on what's important for you, and you have to actually apply that. I'm loving it today. I'm calling it grace. You have to apply that at grace to understand we're all in this together. They're just trying to do, everybody else around you is trying to do the best that they can in this energy as well, which is intense. So it's a little bit of actually going, okay, well, I see what's going on externally, and I'm not going to overanalyze it, because you're going to analysis paralysis, but I'm going to go, notice how how do I usually respond in this situation? And does that put me into emotional harmony? Do I want to judge that other person, or do I want to blame that other person, or do I want to actually go, actually, it's not really about them. They're just illuminating for me what I need to actually heal in myself, or what do I need to address, or what limiting belief I've got, or what I'm attached to, or where there's an imbalance. Because the only way to get to the fifth dimension is through yourself. How do you get there through yourself? Is unconditional love directed towards yourself. Now, that's hard because we can't maintain that all the time. You've got 34,000 emotions. We run the gauntlet of these every day, and it's unconditional love is just acceptance. It's acceptance. So if something's happening, it's like, well, yep, that's happening. Now I have the choice internally to decide how I want to turn up for me in the best possible way, in the kindest possible way, which will reflect outwards by going, I'm not going to take that 100% personally. The person's opinion that matters of you the most, without validation, is your own. And literally, this energy is, I'm not laughing really, but it's having a field day. And you've got to decide how you're personally going to let it affect you, because that's going to be the only thing that matters. And I'm loving the illuminations that are going on at the moment. It's absolutely amazing, because the exponential growth that is being driven by us jumping these timelines, and the universe going, address this, look at this, address this, look at this. It's actually really, really good for you if you take a step back, recognise the illumination is not whoever brought it to your doorstep. It's not that. That doesn't matter. It's how you deal with emotional equilibrium on the inside. And is it like, I think I put up on Facebook the other day, it's like a lesson in mastery of self, right? Those people are going to turn up, they're going to think whatever they think about you, that's their prerogative, that's their life, that's their viewpoint. What you think about you, the grace you treat yourself with, the love you treat yourself with, the empowerment that you give yourself during this process, that's what's going to get you through. You don't need validation from another person. You are doing awesomely. I have to say that. Seriously, it's like weathering a really, really big storm, and you're going to find that if you don't sit in the negativity, that you can actually go, wow, I'm learning so much about myself at the moment. I'm honouring who I am. Learn to self-validate. Learn to actually go, do you know what? I'm okay with how I actually turned up. Above all, be kind to other people, because they're doing exactly, trying to navigate through it the best that they can. And honestly, this 2-year-old energy, I'm watching people have tantrums all over the place, just at people that are actually in situations and developments that are actually trying to help people to grow into the best versions of themselves, not for anything else, but for yourself. So you start to come back to rising above the negativity of seeing everything as negative, and actually see everything as empowering you to grow, to have strength, to have resilience, to just be absolutely incredible, which you already are, and you already were. You're just unlearning the stuff that you've learned along the way that has made you see yourself through somebody else's eyes. Whether you had a difficult parent or a difficult partner or whatever, you started seeing yourself through their eyes. It's time to start seeing yourself and refocus and see yourself through your own eyes. Now, if you're struggling with, oh my gosh, I don't know who I am, where do I fit underneath that? Here's a little tip for you. You need to start refocusing on what Spirit calls, and I absolutely love it, which is simple joys, okay? The things that you just think, wow, I really love that. So, like, yesterday I stopped and I watched the baby chickens that are growing up and they're starting to have a go at each other. Really, really indicative of the energy right at the moment. But that part of me was vastly entertained, and seriously, I'm vastly entertained by people right at the moment. Vastly entertained by the fact that they were having these hijinks and they were learning how to interact with each other, and they were learning how to actually do things. And that's what I mean as a simple joy. Stopping for a moment and going, wow, look at that. Like, wow, we're changing seasons. Wow, there's a whole lot going on the earth plane, and wow, I'm really grateful to be alive. Apply liberal amounts of simple joys and gratitude, and seriously, you'll weather the way through it. If you are feeling picked on, stop and celebrate the things that you need to celebrate about yourself. Stop and go, what am I really, really awesome at in my own right, just for me? I'm really, really awesome. That's just making me laugh. That guys just said, I'm really, really awesome. I put pants on today. So, at the end of the day, well done you put pants on today. But it's about giving yourself credit and celebration and doing it for you. And it's not egotistical. It is necessary in this energy to celebrate you so much, because you're here, you're on the earth plane, you're having this amazing experience. And it's just deciding, and it's that simple, it's just deciding, is this an amazing experience no matter what's going on, or am I going to resent everything that's going on? Because energy can only match energy. If you're going to look at it like everything's nasty and everything's horrible, well, that's what you're going to magnetise. If you go, wow, this is helping to empower me to see my world is really amazing, then that's the energy that you magnetise as well. So you've got lots of choices right at the moment as well. If you have been a bit headachy, also I'm getting hammered by the Schumann resonance right at the moment, and solar flares particularly affect me. I just make sure that I monitor self-care, okay? If I need to withdraw and amplify my energy back to myself, and I circulate energy around myself like I'm in a really, really warm cocoon, then just do that. You don't need to justify to anybody else about taking the time out or making space to self-nurture yourself, and that is actually really, really important as well. Like anything, it's moving, right? It's a lovely moving energy. Don't get caught up in it and don't feel picked in by it. Step back and go, what is this illuminating for me? You'll seriously get through this energy, because it's going right through till November. Sorry about that. So we're entering this really crucial timeline of going, do you want to stay here, or do you want to start to anchor in, that's the best word for it, anchor in the new version of yourself by your focus of what you want to focus on and what you want to see is really amazing, because quite a lot of the rest of the stuff is just life stuff, really, and it's experiential life stuff that basically, in a good way, illuminates that you're strong enough to actually deal with it. Take your time, be kind to you, self-care, 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 as you navigate through this shifting and changing energy that we're in right now. And above all, please take care of you. You're on the earth plane at this time because you're supposed to be here, and you're amazing that you're embarking on this journey as well. Keep shining.